Well, here we are. So this is the Specialized Crux Expert gravel bike, and in this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike, and also I will tell you some likes and dislikes when it comes to this specific gravel bike from Specialized. So the retail price of this bike is $5,500 hard-earned US dollars. So as you can see, definitely it is an eye-watering price when it comes to this gravel bike. So let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So this Specialized Crux is one of the lightest gravel bikes on the market you can buy. So definitely I would kind of class this gravel bike as a racing gravel bike. So if you really want the kind of one of the lightest gravel bikes on the market, if you like a bit more, racing with your gravel bike, then definitely you should consider this Specialized Crux Expert bike. Also, make no mistake, if you just like gravel bikes generally, because they offer you this beautiful option between riding on the road and then from time to time going off-road, definitely this Specialized Crux is going to be an excellent choice for that type of bike riding. Also, when you look at the paint schemes on this bike, Specialized is offering two paint schemes. There is this beautiful kind of blue lagoon with a hint of green. Very, very nice paint scheme. Definitely would be my first choice. And then you also have a totally kind of stealth blacked out bike, which is basically their classic satin black paint scheme. Again, very nice here that Specialized is offering two paint schemes when the retail price of the bike is $5,500 US dollars. So let's dive into the specifications and really see what will you get for your money. So first thing first, let's talk about the frame and the fork on this bike. So this frame is the Specialized 10R carbon fiber frame, and the fork you are getting on this bike is the Specialized S-Works carbon fiber fork. This frame and the fork, 12mm through axles, both front and the back, and also it comes with the threaded bottom bracket. In this instance, it's going to be the SRAM dub standard for the threaded bottom bracket. When it comes to carbon fiber frames from Specialized, you are getting a lifetime warranty, which is absolutely excellent. And this 10R carbon fiber frame, it is not, creme de la creme, top of the line that Specialized can do. That would be their S-Works 12R carbon fiber frame, but as it is, this 10R carbon fiber frame, perfectly fine. I absolutely have no complaints here when it comes to carbon fiber frames and forks done by Specialized. It is definitely backed with an excellent warranty from Specialized, and they know what they are doing because they have a huge, knowledge and heritage in making carbon fiber frames. Okay, moving on to some smaller pieces of the bike, for example, saddle and the seat post. So this seat post, luckily, it is a carbon fiber seat post from Specialized, and it is paired with their body geometry saddle. I really like the Specialized saddles. Saddles are always a bit of a personal preference, so if you don't like it, it's very easy to replace. But I'm also glad that they've included this carbon fiber seat post here, because on this type of the gravel bike, you definitely want to soak up a bit more of the road bumps, and then carbon fiber seat post is a must-have. Now let's talk about the handlebar and the stem on this bike. So they have included aluminum handlebar, aluminum stem. Nothing is proprietary here, very classical design, so super easy to replace anything in the future. And also, if you need to finally tune your position on the bike, it's also easy to do it. This is definitely what I like to see here. There is no problems with being this aluminum handlebar and aluminum stem, perfectly fine in my opinion. If you really want, you can in the future, for example, maybe update the handlebar and buy yourself, a carbon fiber handlebar. But honestly, I just wouldn't bother with that. I don't think there's any need. Just stick with this classical design, nothing proprietary, and it's going to be very, very easy to service. Also, when you look at the lines for the hydraulic disc brakes, they are very nicely classically routed, kind of under the handlebar, and then freely flowing into the fork, freely flowing into the down tube of the bike. So again, very easy to service if anything needs replacing, and definitely your local mechanic is going to be, super satisfied when he sees this kind of routing of the hydraulic disc brakes. So all in, definitely no complaints here when it comes to this handlebar and the stem, although they are aluminum, as I said, but perfectly fine in my book. Moving on to the group set on the bike, and in my opinion, this is the secret sauce of this bike. So in this instance, we are speaking about the latest, greatest SRAM rival Explore group set, and this is the 13-speed group set from SRAM. So SRAM Rival 13-speed, it is a fully wireless group set, so electronic group set, so shifters, rear mech, everything communicates wirelessly, and as you can see, there is no front mech on this bike, so this is a single chainring setup, and I believe this is absolutely the future for the gravel bikes, a single ring at the front. And in mountain bike world, single ring at the front has been used for the last 10 years, so definitely there's no problem with dropping your chain. If you are really worried about that, you can always buy yourself a very simple chain catcher, and definitely no problems. But when it comes to the simplicity of the drivetrain, ease of maintenance, and probably there could be some little aerodynamic advantage, definitely single chain rings are always win in my book. So this SRAM Rival Explore 13-speed group set, so we are having the SRAM Rival shifter at the front, then you are having the SRAM Rival chainring, single chainring. This is a 40-tooth chainring paired with the SRAM Rival chain, and we are also having of course the SRAM Rival Explore rear mech, which is now a 13-speed system. Speaking about the 13 speeds, this cassette at the back, SRAM Rival, it's absolutely huge. It's a 1046 cassette, so this is a mountain bike cassette, so like huge like a plate, and it's definitely going to give you a huge gear ratio because you have a 40-tooth chainring at the front, and then this 1046 cassette at the back, so you can absolutely climb any steep mountains with this gravel bike, and this is definitely something I like to see. With the SRAM Rival Explore group set, the battery sits here at the back of the rear mech. Very easy to operate, very easy to travel with it, charge it. So I mean, SRAM has really mastered this game of a fully wireless electronic group set. So this latest iteration, 13 speeds, absolutely no complaints from me. I think they've done an excellent job, and probably other manufacturers like Shimano will have to follow with something similar. So is it going to be again some kind of 13 speed affair, or maybe they will stick with the 12-speed group set? So this is to be seen, but generally this SRAM Rival Explore 13 speed, absolutely perfect, definitely no complaints from me in this instance. Moving on to the braking system on the bike, so again here we are having the SRAM Rival hydraulic disc brakes, both front and the back. They are using the SRAM Paceline rotors. This is 160mm braking rotor at the front, and luckily at the back also 160mm braking rotors at the back. This is excellent, and this is exactly what I like to see, because you want this heat dissipation, you want this good stopping power. So definitely 160mm braking rotors front and the back, absolutely perfect on this bike, and no complaints from me. Now moving on to the wheels and the tires on this bike. So as it is, this frame and the fork can accept maximum 47mm tires front and back, and I believe this will approximately be something like, if you look at the mountain bike tires, something like 2.1 inch mountain bike tires you can fit on this bike, which is absolutely stunning and excellent in my opinion. But speaking about the wheel set and the tires on this bike, so the wheel set is the Specialized own Roval Terra C wheel set. So as the name suggests, this is a carbon fiber wheel set, kind of dedicated carbon fiber wheel set for gravel riding. If you are buying it on the open market, it is $1,100, but some of the highlights include that carbon fiber rims, of course, tubeless ready, using the DT Swiss 370 hubs on this wheel set, using the DT Swiss spokes, which are aluminum spokes, again, excellent in my opinion, and the total weight of this wheel set is approximately 1,630 grams. Again, excellent in my book. I have no special complaints about the weight of the wheel set. Only thing here I would mention is that I wish that Specialized has used, for example, DT Swiss 240 hubs on this wheel set, not this DT Swiss 370. It's kind of the, the cheapest version of DT Swiss hubs you can buy, these 370, so they could have kind of splashed a bit and really went with the DT Swiss 240 hubs on this wheel set. It would just be a much more advanced and better engagement hubs on the wheel set, and probably just a little bit lighter than it is. I definitely like that they are still using here the classical aluminum DT Swiss spokes, because if you have any problems and some spoke breaks, it's going to be very, very easy to replace. If you would have carbon fiber spokes, then you might run into a lot of problems that bike shops just don't have, stock of carbon fiber spokes to replace. So all in, a very decent carbon fiber wheel set. And I forgot to mention here that the rim height on this wheel set is 32 millimeters, but externally this rim is 30 millimeters, which is again very, very nice for mounting the gravel bike tires, and it will also give you a good kind of air volume inside the tire. Of course, probably when you look at the future direction of the wheels for the gravel riding, this 30 millimeters externally, probably it won't be enough. I'm guessing, the wheels are easily going to move to something like, 35 millimeters externally, because now a bunch of, gravel bikes are mounting proper mountain bike tires, which are basically 50 millimeters wide, 54 millimeters wide, so you want this external rim width to be even wider than it is. The tires on this bike are the Specialized own Pathfinder tires, and these tires are 40 millimeters both front and back, which is, perfectly fine out of the box, but definitely when you destroy these tires, it is worth considering, going wider, 45, 47 millimeters, because this bike frame can accept it. And again, okay, depending on the route you are riding, if it's a bit more rough off-roading, then definitely go to all the way to 47 millimeter tires, both front and the back, because ultimately you want this smoother ride, you want the more air volume in the tire, and that's the whole point of these kind of gravel bikes. So in a summary, what do I think about this Specialized Crux Expert bike? As you have probably gathered, I really don't have any special complaints about the whole package that Specialized has put together. When you also consider that the weight of this bike is 8.1 kilograms in size 56, it is very, very impressive. But the main negative thing is, of course, the price. So it is $5,500, which is, absolutely eye-watering price. And I truly hope that you can nicely negotiate with your local Specialized bike dealer, and definitely try to negotiate this bike, I would say discount of about 15 to 20%. So if you can be somewhere in the ballpark of, let's call it $4,500, $4,800, then I would definitely say, go ahead and buy this bike. As it is now, I just think this price is very, very high for this kind of level of the bike, and I wish that, the price would drop below $5,000, but you are always paying a bit of a premium for the Specialized name, kind of brand recognition, and what they stand for, and maybe even their heritage. So that is the reality of the Specialized Crux Expert gravel bike. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!